Shabbat Shalom. This week's Parsha of Bereishit, the beginning begins again. With the primordial chaos of Tohu Vavohu. In each day of the creation story, God creates more order out of the chaos, making the next day's creation possible until the creation of the first couple, placing them in the Garden of Eden. They eat of the fruit, and they are banished to the east. And it's to the east of the garden where life as we know it unfolds. I want to focus on the first struggle of conflict between two human beings, the story of Cain and Abel. Two nice boys, come from a great family, got a terrific day school education. They grow up and each of them offers a sacrifice to God. And for some inexplicable reason, God accepts Abel's sacrifice and God rejects Cain's. Cain becomes enraged, homicidally so. He argues with Abel, and in his rage, he kills him. Afterwards, God comes to Cain and says, "Where is Abel?" Strange question coming from God. What? God didn't know? Of course God knew. But God was setting Cain up. And then Cain utters those words that everyone in the West knows. Hashomer achi anochi, am I my brother's keeper? Rashi tells us that these words are said in a question, as if this is the first example of sarcasm. Cain is saying to God, what? Today's not my day to watch him. I'm supposed to know where he is? And God says, I could hear the cry of your brother's blood. But the Tanchuma, a Midrashic collection, doesn't read these words, Hashomer achi anochi, as a question mark, but rather with a comma. Hashomer achi, comma, the guardian of my brother, is Anochi, is the divine I. Anochi is the first word of the Ten Commandments. Anochi Adonai Elohecha asher hotzeiticha me'eretz Mitzrayim, God says. I'm the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt. And so what Cain, in the reading of the Tanchuma, is saying to God is, listen, I didn't know there was death. I didn't know he was going to die. How can I be held responsible? Besides, you're in charge. You created the world. You accepted his sacrifice and rejected mine. And you are the ultimate shomer. You're the guard. If you are in control, if you are all powerful, if you are all good, why, God, did you not intervene and stop me before I killed Abel? Hashomer achi anochi. Cain says, God is responsible, not Cain. And God's response to Cain is silence. Not a word. God does not engage in any kind of theological debate or dialogue with Cain. Silence. And in that silence is a powerful lesson. From the very beginning of humankind, and certainly until we take our last breath, and even beyond, no one is responsible for our moral life. No one is more in control of our behavior than we are. We cannot blame God for not stopping us. We cannot blame our parents for early childhood traumas. And we cannot blame our environment for being unfair. God's response is silence because it's so obvious. You and I are ultimately in charge. May you have a Shabbat Shalom and a Zis and Shabbos.